Hello, hello, hello. How are you guys doing this evening? It is super late. It is 3:54 a.m. and I just woke up about 20 minutes ago. We didn't get home tonight until... God, what time did we get home? Well, we got home at like 9:30, and then I sat out here and I talked to Tanya Jean for like a half an hour on the phone. I have an old Diet Coke right here, and I just opened a new Diet Coke. And I was telling Tanya everything to do with our day, and then she was telling me about her day and the meeting last night, and she went out to dinner with my sponsor, well, our sponsor last night, and all that kind of stuff. I'm kind of like, I keep on hearing something in the water over here. And it's like, I'm like, if there is an alligator that comes out of that water, you will see me tear into this house so fast, your head will spin. Anyway, so anyway, we got home and I sat down here and I talked to Tanya for like a half an hour on the phone. And then I went in and Alex and I were like both looking at TikToks. I've got to figure out a better way for this camera. Hold on a second. We were both looking at TikToks, and I was like, I'm gonna lay down for like I'm gonna lay down for like an hour, and then I'm gonna get up and I'm gonna watch some Unsolved Mysteries and eat the rest of my pasta that I got for dinner. And he was like, okay, babe. And I literally completely just passed out of sleep. I was so tired. And I woke up, and he had been sitting right next to me. And I was like, where did Alex go? And he was out here watching TV. And that was like, I set my alarm for like 11:30. And I got up, and I like turned my alarm off. And then he came in. I must have snoozed it or something, I don't know. Because he came in and he was like, babe, if you're gonna keep on sleeping, we just turn off your alarm. So I like turned it off, and then I woke up, and it was like 3:30, and I was like, I need to get up and vlog. I haven't even vlogged yet, and now I'm like wide awake. Just kind of funny. And then this is bad because now I'm on vacation and my sleep schedule is gonna be totally screwed up. But anyway, we had a good day today. It was a long day, but it was a good day. Got up this morning, well, not this morning, but we got up and we got ready, and we met with the agent today and went and looked at some different areas and looked at some different properties, kind of like drove by having some ideas of some different areas. This is not probably an area that we would want to be in. The price range is really a good price range for us, but not exactly what this is just not the area that we want to be in. We also talked to our friend Brittany has an agent that she worked with down here, so we also talked to her agent and got some ideas because that agent actually does work in all of South Florida. So we just really want to be a lot closer to Miami. So we talked to them about Hollywood, that's part of one of the areas that we want to be, and possibly Aventura too, which is more of like a suburb that is south of Fort Lauderdale, between Fort Lauderdale and Miami. I mean, ideally we would love to be like just in downtown Miami, like in Brickell, but it's super expensive in that area. So, but it was fun looking at different areas today and kind of getting an idea of the price range. The area that we're in right now that we thought, oh, this would be like really, no, it's way out of our price range in this area. Basically anything that is on the intercoastal or like the water, which we're like not really considered on the intercoastal right now. I thought we were, but kind of like there are canals leading to the intercoastal. But it's probably really out of our price range. But the agent that we worked with, she was super, super sweet. And we're meeting with her for a little bit tomorrow and just kind of finalizing some stuff. But we were real honest with her, and we're like, we've already kind of decided this isn't probably the area. And she was like, well, since we've been talking and working together, let's like go and look at some stuff anyway. So we did that, and she was really, really nice. So anyway, and then after that, we met up with Brittany. We went and picked her up late this afternoon. I think we ended up getting her at like 4 o'clock. And we went to the Sawgrass Mill Mall. 3:30 or 4 we got her. And we went to the Sawgrass Mill Mall, which is like this huge mall. It's supposedly like an outlet mall. We've come to it before. But it's so like not an outlet mall. It has like really, really high-end stores as well that have kind of like, not necessarily outlet, but like they have like reduced, they have stuff on sale, I guess. But so they had when we walked in through the food court, and they have like a Super Target, like a Burlington Coat Factory. They had tons and tons of stores that you would see at like other outlet malls, right? Because I love a good outlet mall. But then they had, we went into Spirit Halloween, which was actually smaller than the one in Indianapolis. The one here was really small compared to the one in Indianapolis. I'm trying to think of where else we went. Right when we went in, they had this kiosk that had all these masks, and so we all bought masks because they had really cool masks for like, they were like 2 for $30 or something like that, but they were really nice, heavy-duty masks. So we got those, and then it was like not that busy at the mall. I was really surprised. Anyway, we just walked around forever, and then I was like, well, I kind of wanted to see some of the stores that we can't go to in Indianapolis. So Brittany was like, well, the nicer stores, there was a Saks, it's called Saks Off, you know, like Saks on, like Saks Fifth Avenue. Well, there's a store here called Saks Off Fifth, I think it's what it's called. Saks Off Fifth. Anyway, it's a Saks Fifth Avenue, like outlet is what it is. Like, we have like Nordstrom, and we have Nordstrom Rack, and Nordstrom, I think they have a Nordstrom Rack here too. Oh, no. It was Neiman's Final or something. It was like Neiman Marcus, but it was like everything marked down. So we went to the Saks Off Fifth place. There was really nothing there that I wanted. Alex looked at some like Balmain shoes, and they had some really cool boots there and stuff like that. But they were still, I mean, like, they were marked down like $300, but they were still like $500, $600, $700. Well, no, these one boots that he was looking at were like $300, but they were like outrageous. They were like nothing that you could like, I mean, you couldn't wear them every day, you know. So we did go into Journeys because he looked at, I was like, I swear I saw something over there, like by the pier, like movie, and I was like, if that is that alligator coming to get me. Alex really wants a pair of Doc Marten boots now. He's like jealous of my Doc Marten. But I kind of want to get a pair of Doc Marten boots too. Like, I got the shoes and now I want the boots. But anyway, so then we went outside. Like, they had all the upscale shops outside, like as you were walking, and they had like Gucci, and they had Prada, and they had well, we were in the Moncler store for a long time. That's that coat that I wanted, that ski coat that I saw somebody have on in the airport last year. Oh my God. I've drooled over these things. They're so expensive. Alex and I both walked in because Brittany wanted, she like loves this brand. Apparently her fiance loves it. And so she wanted to get him like a polo shirt. And they actually, like, the polo shirts they were on sale. They were just plain polo shirts, so that just had like the Moncler emblem on them. But they were like $139, which I didn't think was horrible for like a really upscale store like that. But we walked in, and like Alex and I both like turned to our left, and we saw these, like, they had these red corduroy ski coats, and I was like, oh my God, I want that coat. And Alex was like, oh, I love that coat too. And he was like, how much do you think it is? And I said, $1,100, $1,500 easily. And he was like, do you really think it's because they didn't have any price tags on it? He was like, oh, there's no price tag on it. I go, trust me, they're expensive coats. So we asked the woman, and they were like, that coat was like $1,500. But like all of their coats were really cool. They had beautiful sweaters. They had a sweater that said like Aspen, Colorado, like 19 something on it. It was like, they had beautiful, beautiful sweaters in there. Like beautifully woven sweaters. And, but anyway, so then we left there. And then, where else did we go? Alex wanted to go. Oh, Alex got a polo shirt from Burberry. And, because he has like a black one at home that I got him a couple years ago, and he really likes it. So he wanted to get another one. He got a navy blue one. And I just really wasn't in the shopping mood. I didn't really want to buy anything. I also didn't really want to lug it back to Indianapolis, but I just wasn't in the shopping mood. All I got was the masks. That was it, literally. And Alex got those for me, so, because he was getting some. And then we kept on like walking and looking like past all these stores. Brittany really wanted to go into, she was looking for like just some like dresses to wear and stuff like that for business. And for like meetings and stuff like that. So she wanted to go to Diane von Furstenberg, but it closed down there. There were a lot of stores that had closed because of like COVID. They had gone over. I walked into some store because we were looking for it. And so I finally went in there. I was like, is DVF gone? Like, is it no longer here? And they were like, yeah, it closed. It was down to the left. And they were like, Roberto, because I was like, was that what was next door, or what store closed down? And they were like, that was Roberto Cavalli. And they were like, it closed down. And so it's sad. But then we were hungry. And so Brittany called her fiance and she was like, what are you doing? And he and his friend were like eating, or they were going to eat. So she was like, well, we're going to eat here. So we went to the Grand Lux, which is hilarious because if you've never been to the Grand Lux, they have one in the Venetian in Las Vegas. It's basically a cheesecake factory. It's just like the menu is almost identical to the cheese. Well, the menu here was actually a lot less than the Cheesecake Factory, but it's almost identical. And it's where Alex and I had our rehearsal dinner. So it was kind of funny because like when we met Brittany, she was a waitress at Cheesecake Factory. And I was going to actually save this story because she and I were going to maybe do a video together. But the story is really funny because, you know, like I love like pageant. I love anything to do with pageants. I'm obsessed, right? And I love to meet anybody that has anything to do with pageants. So when we met Brittany, she was Miss Indiana, USA. But she was waitressing at Cheesecake Factory. And Alex and I were there for dinner. This was our first year together. One of the reasons why we asked Brittany to marry us was she was one of the very first people that we met together as a couple. Like, she was one of the very first friends that we made together as a couple. Does that make sense? So, I always say that. Does that make sense? Because I think it sounds so stupid, you know, not like I'm talking down to you. But, like, does that make sense? Like, as a couple, like, she was, like, one of the first, like, he didn't meet her, I didn't, like, meet her, we met her together. So, anyway, so she was our waitress at Cheesecake Factory. Well, at that point, we were going to the Cheesecake Factory, like, all the time. And there was this guy that worked in there, and he was really nice. This, like, older gay guy. He was, like, really nice. And he would kind of, like, watch over us and make sure, like, if we got, like, a new waiter or waitress, like, they were, like, you know, because we were in there all the time. And so she, like, brought these 2 plates out, and she was, like, looking at them, and she was like, like, she didn't know which one was which, even though she had taken the order and stuff. And so we were helping her, and Alex looked at her and he goes, and she's had her hair back in a ponytail. I don't think she had any makeup on. Like, when she's not, like, out and doing anything, she's very, like, natural. She's, like, not a ton of makeup on and stuff. And, so Alex was like, when she walked away, Alex was like, she's so pretty. Don't you think she's, like, so naturally pretty? And I was like, she's okay. Like, she's just okay. I mean, I don't think she's like, this is like, Brittany laughs so hard when we tell the story. I was like, I mean, she's just okay. She's not that pretty. I mean, she's pretty, but she's just okay, right? And so the guy that, like, was, that, like, sometimes was our waiter that kind of, like, looked over us, he came over and he was like, is your waitress okay? And I was like, I mean, she doesn't really seem like she's into her job that much, right? And he was like, yeah. He was like, this isn't like her main thing. Like, she's Miss Indiana USA. And I go, oh my gosh, she's so pretty. And Alex to this day, like, laughs so hard. He's like, you didn't think she was that pretty until you knew she was Miss Indiana USA. And then I was like, oh my God, she's so pretty. So then he like walks away, and like she came back and she was like checking on us, like pouring our drinks. And I was like, I heard you were Miss Indiana USA. And so she like sat down and started talking to us. And like, she did not love working at Cheesecake Factory. She like worked everywhere. She's worked everywhere. She's worked since she was like 14 years old. And, but she was like, she hated waiting tables. But anyway, we always joke about that because like then we became friends, and then she would like want to call in all the time, and she'd try to get other people to work her shifts. She literally worked like 2 shifts a month, and she would try to get other people to work her shifts. So she's so funny because she's always like, you didn't even think I was pretty till I was Miss Indiana USA. I'm like, no, I did. I thought you were real pretty. But I mean, like, I thought you were so much prettier when you were Miss Indiana. She was like, why does that make a difference? I'm like, no, it doesn't make a difference, but I just love pageants and stuff, you know? So anyway. She's fun. But so we did that. We went to eat at the Grand Lux. We were there for like 2 hours. We were all 3 of us so tired. We were like about to fall asleep. Well, I got a side salad to start, and they got these Asian nachos, which I couldn't have because they had chicken on them. They looked really good though. And then Brittany got a salad. I got pasta, and Alex got a cheeseburger, but he didn't eat the bun. He just like had it like open faced. But I brought back like half of my pasta, and yeah, it rained like off and on all day today. It was like super rainy. And then in the evening it kind of stopped. I don't think tomorrow it's supposed to be rainy. I think, well, it says like certain chance of rain, but I think it's supposed to be nicer tomorrow and Friday. It would be nice to get like one nice day down here, you know, like one full nice day, but of course next week is supposed to be nice. Okay, so 50% chance of rain. Then Friday, 40% chance. Then Saturday, 50% chance. But like next week, I'm so bitter. It's like 20, 30% sunny. It's like 84. It's like real nice all next week. Oh well. It's been really nice just to kind of like relax and get away. We drove, on our way back tonight, we drove a lot around this area because Alex was like, you know, like after working with the agent today and stuff, he was like, I really want to like rule this place out. Like if we don't like this area, I really want to rule it out. So we drove a little bit north of here, like not all the way to West Palm, but like we like drove and kind of like looked around this area. It's really like, it's really far from everything. But we've also driven around Fort Lauderdale quite a bit during this trip because Brittany's in Fort Lauderdale. I don't want to be in Fort Lauderdale either. I want to be south of there. People keep on asking on the vlog, they're like, is this like a permanent move? No, I feel like maybe it's people that are new, to the channel that don't know. No, it's not a permanent move. Our plan is that, and this has been our plan for like years, is that we want to get a place in Florida and go back and forth between Florida and Indianapolis. Now, Alex has always said that he would probably be more permanently in Florida, but that's because he wants to be down here more because of the weather. We would probably, like, Florida would probably be our more permanent place. I mean, when we're looking for, like, space and the size, we're definitely looking for more square footage down here than we have in Indianapolis. More of kind of, like, you know, a home that we would have for the rest of our lives. Well, the condo we're in Indianapolis, we're going to always keep. But, I mean, it's kind of perfect for us because it's not huge. And, but our family's in Indianapolis, you know? Our friends and stuff like that. So we always want to have a place that we can go back and forth to. But, you know, currently I can kind of be like wherever. Alex isn't so much like that. I mean, he has to be in Indianapolis. But a lot of his work that he does, he can do remotely. So when he's doing remote work, I mean, we wouldn't have to be in Indianapolis, you know, and that's when we could like come down to Florida for like a week or 2 or a month or whatever. But we just, I mean, here's the thing, is that we love Florida so much. we were talking to Brittany about this today, because when she was like introducing us to, she like called her agent, and so we were talking, and the thing is like we're down here, so like we would be down here already this year, like if before we couldn't have traveled, we probably would have been down here like 4 times already. Well, when you start adding that up with what you pay in hotels and all that kind of stuff, like, I mean, we really could be putting that into a place. I mean, it's stupid at some point, you know? So it's really smarter for us to maybe like look at a place and see, well, if it's the same amount that we're spending on hotel. I mean, don't get me wrong, I love hotels and resorts, but if we're spending the same amount of money, then why wouldn't we take that money and put it into a place that we're living? Like, it just makes more sense, you know? But, and Alex has always wanted to live down here. I mean, ever since day one that I met him, he's always wanted to live in South Florida. There's just definitely, like, a huge difference in how it feels, like, where we're at right now, and how it feels in, like, Miami. And it's interesting because people are always like, you know, well, Peter, like, Miami's more of a fast city. It's more like, I'm surprised that you would want to live in Miami. I have to tell you, like, that is not my experience. Well, all of South Florida feels very slow to me. But, like, in comparison to other cities like Las Vegas, you know, New York, Los Angeles, Dallas, places that, you know, San Francisco, Miami doesn't feel that way to me. Especially, like, if you go to, like, Brickell, which is where we're looking at, right? I mean, you can walk down the city streets and, like, not pass anybody for 20 minutes. There is a suburbanness to it, even being in the city. South Beach, there are areas where, you know, like, yeah, Ocean Drive at 3 o'clock in the afternoon to 10 o'clock at night is, like, packed and loud, and restaurants and all that kind of stuff. But when you're 2, let's say, blocks in, you know, and you're just, like, walking on, like, Washington, you know, or whatever, like, it's not, like, super, like, loud. And there are, like, houses, I mean, we couldn't afford those houses, but there are houses and, like, apartments that are, like, 3 to 4 to 5, 6 blocks back in the South Beach, where people literally, like, are, like, walking to the restaurants where they work and stuff during the day. And there's a slowness about that. It just is very beachy to me, like, where you would get up and walk your dogs and, you know, then go down and have a coffee and then go to the beach if you. There's just a slowness about it to me. It doesn't feel as fast-paced as other cities to me. And I don't think, like I wouldn't have understood that had I not been down here and spent some time in those areas, just kind of, like, walking around. I wouldn't say it necessarily feels safe to me, but it feels slow to me. There's, like, a slowness about it that I enjoy. I mean, I think beyond a shot, well, I really want to get a house with, like, the thing is like, this is, like, perfect. We were talking to the agent today, we were saying, like, you know, in Hollywood or Aventura, is this realistic? And she was like, yeah, she was like, this is well, the first one that we were working with, not Brittany's. She was like, yeah, this is, like, in Aventura or Hollywood, this is absolutely realistic. And, well, realistic for, like, the price range that we're looking at per square footage and stuff like that. And, you know, we were asking about, like, because, like, one of Alex's concerns is, like, I would really like to have, like, a pool, like an in-ground pool, you know, and all that kind of stuff. And Alex is like, well, who are we going to get to take care of that? And I said, well, my assumption is, because you're, like, in Indianapolis, you have lawn care, which is, you know, expensive. Some people pay, like, $100, I mean, it's $50 to $100, you know, every 2 weeks or every week, and you know, in the Midwest, get your lawn paid for, unless a neighborhood kid does it. And, like, hell, my mom, I think, paid somebody $20 every other week to mow our lawn 30 years ago. So I'm sure the price has gone up. So just that, you know. And so when we were talking to her, she said, yeah, she said, you can, like, most people down here just pay a service, and it's, like, not too much for having them come up. I mean, like, this isn't, we don't even have any yard at this house. There's, like, a little bit of yard over there, and no yard in the front, and really no landscaping to take care of, because it's all just these big trees and stuff, you know? So I don't know. But we're not rushing into anything. It's nice just sitting out here, you know. It's so nice. So we've got that to do tomorrow. And then the rest is kind of just relaxing and stuff. But we've been around enough to see that I do want to still go to Publix though and get the sandwich, and that we were going to do that tonight on the way home, and I said let's just do it tomorrow. I don't know, you know when you go somewhere and you just kind of like, this is one of the reasons why we wanted to spend like, you know, like a week in this area, was just to kind of like feel it. I love the house, I love the pool. I'm not feeling the area. I don't even know how to explain it. Like, I don't even know how to put my finger on it. So, last night I watched part of another episode of Unsolved Mysteries. We'll talk about the house stuff other time. I know it gets boring for you guys after a while. I watched another part of an episode of Unsolved Mysteries. I watched the one about the tsunami victims that came back and were like haunting that town. It really didn't feel like an episode of Unsolved Mysteries to me. It was really weird. Like, a lot of people asked for like paranormal, because they used to do the paranormal stuff on Unsolved Mysteries back in the day, but like that one just really didn't feel like an Unsolved Mysteries episode to me, like at all. Like at all. I don't know. It was weird. It didn't even feel like a paranormal episode of theirs to me. I used to watch them all the time back in the day. I'm thinking about starting this new series on apparently everybody is like saying that I stole this idea from Jamie French, who I don't even know who Jamie French is. And then I looked her up and I was like, oh, I think she got into like a scandal with like this makeup thing, like the tiny face makeup thing challenge. That's the only reason I like know this girl. They're like, oh, like just like she does it. And but my idea is that on my review channel I'm gonna start doing Bad Movie Mondays and reviewing really bad movies on Mondays, because last night, you guys know if you watch my vlog, I'll start like going down the rabbit hole of some movie I saw in the 80s when I was like, you know, growing up. And back in the day, late at night on HBO, and we called it Skinamax on Cinemax, I used to have these horrible movies, right? But they were so horrible that they were kind of good in kind of a weird way. Like, I loved these movies. Angel, remember I was just talking about this like not so long ago, and here it was like Student by Day, Hooker by Night. Well, Avenging Angel is number 2, and she's in law school at that point. So, but like I loved these movies when I was like growing up. And I mean like growing up, like when I was like 10 and probably shouldn't have been watching them, but I was like more fascinated with the storylines than anything else. And so I was like looking it up. Well, then I started falling down the rabbit hole of like all these movies that I used to watch back in the day. And I was on Amazon Prime and it was recommending all these movies to me. I started taking screenshots of them. Hold on a second. Oh, here's Avenging Angel and Angel. So you can see I have like the screenshots of those movies. And then, oh, here's Paul Robert Harris, who stole my face and my pictures to use. And the picture of me and Pete to use on the Facebook. But then there was other movies, Fire and Ice, Christina. I like Bad Girls. So I was like, wouldn't that be funny if I like did Bad Movie Mondays and I reviewed like all of these like horrible movies that I used to watch back in the day. So anyway, let me know what you think about that idea. And I think I'm gonna get off here now and have a little snack and then go to bed. It's like this video is at 29 minutes and 18 seconds, so it's going to stop here in about 40 seconds anyway. So I'm just going to say very quickly, thank you guys for watching. I hope you're having an amazing Thursday. I love you so much. If nobody else has told you this today, I love you. Do something nice for somebody else. Like I also always say, practice random acts of kindness, but like I also always say, don't tell anyone. Let somebody know how much they mean to you today. That is the most importantly, let somebody know how much they mean to you today. Remember, you can start your day over whenever you want. Tell yourself that great opportunities and positive experiences are coming your way all day today. Do something that will make yourself proud when you look back on it. And always look in the mirror and tell yourself every single day, I love you and you're valuable. I love you guys. I'll see you tomorrow. Bye. Since it stopped anyway, and I didn't even get to say the very last love you, what I will say is this. Because this is, I think, is a really, really important part. Because I get so many questions from people being like, how do you believe in yourself? How do you love yourself? The whole thing, and actually Brittany and I were talking today about this whole gratitude list thing. And she was giving me some apps. I think that app that she looked at she was telling me was called Grateful, where you can make a gratitude list on your phone every day, because she really believes in that. When you start looking in the mirror every single day and you do these affirmations, like I know that sounds corny, but if you've really started it and you've really tried it and you look in the mirror every single day and you say, I love you. Like I'm looking into the camera right now, I'm looking at myself, and you say, I love you. And then you say, you are valuable, you are worthy of being loved, or you are a good son, you are a good husband. And you start saying these things you want to believe about yourself. You can't look in the mirror and say them to yourself if you don't believe them. So sooner or later, you'll believe them or you'll have to deal with why you don't, And that's part of doing some of the work on it. So look in the mirror every single day. It's not just some corny thing I say. It's like, it will help. Trust me. So look in the mirror every single day and tell yourself, I love you, and at least one positive affirmation, like you are valuable, or you are funny, or you are worthy of love, because you are worthy of love. And I love you guys. I was gonna say I miss you guys, but I'm still recording. So, and if you're having a hard day today, put one foot in front of the other. And remember that things are going to be okay. They're going to be okay. They'll get better. Better days ahead. I hope. And I'm a person that lives in hope. So I love you guys, and I will see you tomorrow. Bye. Love ya.